Picture yourself standing on the deck of a warship that costs more than $2 billion. You're looking out at the endless blue waters of the Caribbean Sea. The morning is normal. The ocean is calm. Your radar screen is clear. Then suddenly, without any warning, your instruments start screaming with alarms. 3 super-fast missiles are racing toward you at over 2,000 miles per hour. You only have seconds, not minutes, to react. This isn't practice. This is real war. And in that split second, everything changes. On October 14th, 2025, a single order from a Venezuelan Navy officer started a chain of events that would shake the Caribbean Sea, send shockwaves through money markets around the world, and remind everyone of a harsh truth. Some mistakes can never be fixed. This is the story of how Venezuela fired weapons at the wrong ship at the wrong time against the wrong country and paid a price that changed the balance of power in an entire region. For weeks, trouble in the Caribbean had been building like a storm, gathering strength over warm ocean water. Venezuela, feeling brave because of world events and desperate to show its power on the world stage, had done something shocking. It expanded its ocean territory claims by more than 180 nautical miles beyond what international rules allow. This was a bold move that Washington immediately said was illegal and dangerous. But Caracas wasn't backing down. President Nicolas Maduro's government called it defending their country. The United States called it a direct threat to freedom of travel in one of the world's most important shipping areas. Every week, more than $2.3 billion in American trade moves through these waters. Oil tankers, container ships, supply chains that feed entire industries. Any disruption here doesn't just hurt the United States. It creates problems in world markets within hours. Despite 4 direct warnings from Washington, Venezuela doubled down. Radar blockades went up. Venezuelan patrol boats began aggressive moves, following American ships testing limits, daring someone to make the first move. Diplomatic talks went silent. The region was a powder keg soaked in gasoline, and everyone knew it. The only question was who would light the match. That morning, October 14th at 8:37 in the morning, the USS Thomas Hudner, a $2.2 billion Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, was doing a standard patrol 90 nautical miles north of Venezuela. Her mission was simple: protect the sea lanes, watch the situation, and make sure ships could travel freely. Her crew of 320 sailors had done this 100 times before. There was no reason to think today would be different. But at a Venezuelan naval command post near Puerto Cabello, a radar technician's blood ran cold. A new signal had appeared on his screen. Sharp, steady, impossible to miss USS Thomas Hudner. He immediately told his bosses. On the bridge of a nearby Venezuelan patrol boat, officers began arguing. Was the American destroyer following them? Was it invading their waters? The radio chatter grew heated. Voices rose. And then at 8:40 in the morning, a single command cut through the chaos like a knife. Fire. 3 P-800 Onyx supersonic anti-ship missiles, each weighing 6,600 pounds and able to reach speeds of Mach 2.6, roared off their launchers. The sky turned blinding white. Within 24 seconds, sensors across the entire Caribbean detected the massive shockwave. This wasn't a warning shot. This was an attempt to sink an American warship. Aboard the USS Thomas Hudner, alarms exploded across the bridge. Radar operators saw the incoming threat signal, and their training took over. Within seconds, the destroyer deployed its multi-layered defense system. 4 SM-6 interceptor missiles screamed into the sky, speeding up to 3,500 miles per hour, racing to meet the Venezuelan threat head-on. The next moments unfolded in a blur of fire and steel. 3 of the Onyx missiles broke apart in midair, their pieces raining harmlessly into the sea. The destroyer's defensive systems had worked exactly as designed. But war is never perfect. One missile broke through, struck with a force of 18 tons of exploding TNT. The explosion tore through the deck like paper, spraying molten steel across the ship's structure. Inside, the lights flickered and died. Communications went dark. Fire alarms screamed through smoke-filled hallways. Of the 320 sailors aboard, 24 were injured in the initial blast. 3 were confirmed dead. 12 vital systems shut down completely. The calm Caribbean morning was gone, replaced by fire, smoke, and the terrible silence that follows violence. By 9 in the morning, a distress call reached U.S. Naval Command. The question racing through every mind from the Pentagon to the White House was simple. What happens now? 10 in the morning, White House Situation Room, West Wing. The news hit Washington like a lightning bolt. By early afternoon, the Pentagon had confirmed what nobody wanted to believe. The U.S. Navy destroyer had been deliberately targeted and hit by a foreign military in international waters. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was an act of war. And inside the heavily guarded Situation Room, President Donald J. Trump called an emergency meeting with the Joint Chiefs of Staff, CIA leadership, and senior Pentagon officials. Security was tight. Phones were taken away. The atmosphere was electric with tension. They hit first. Now we hit smart, the president said, his voice cutting through the room. Within minutes, Operation Freedom Thunder was born. But this wouldn't be a reckless act of revenge. This would be surgical, calculated, and devastating. The mission had two main goals: deliver a precise strike against Venezuela's leadership buildings and reassert American control over Caribbean waters. But then intelligence revealed something that changed everything. A shocking leak from inside the Venezuelan National Assembly, intercepted by U.S. intelligence and confirmed by satellite surveillance, revealed that President Maduro and senior cabinet members were allegedly running a massive smuggling operation. Cocaine and military-grade weapons were being shipped into American cities through secret ocean routes, disguised as humanitarian aid shipments. This wasn't just about ocean territory. This was infiltration. This was a direct attack on American soil, happening in slow motion. At 5:17 in the afternoon, the orders were signed. At 5:20 in the afternoon, a secure call went out to Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana. Within 90 minutes, America's response would be airborne. The countdown to payback had begun. October 15, 2025, 7:45 in the morning, Caracas, Venezuela. At dawn, the Venezuelan capital woke up to a false sense of normalcy. People headed to work. Markets opened. State television broadcast propaganda praising yesterday's defensive action. But 35,000 feet above the city, a storm was already positioned. Two B-52H Stratofortress bombers, call signs Bunny 1 and Bunny 2, had departed Louisiana 7 hours ago. After mid-air refueling over the Caribbean, they weren't alone. An EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft flew alongside them. Its sole purpose? To blind Venezuela's integrated air defense network before they ever saw the threat coming. Two F-35 Lightning II stealth fighters provided escort, silent guardians ready to eliminate any last-minute interference. As the strike group approached from an unexpected southern direction, the Growler unleashed its electronic assault. In underground command bunkers across Caracas, Venezuelan radar operators stared in disbelief as their screens filled with dozens of false returns, phantom aircraft darting in every direction. Every signal was a ghost, every lock-on attempt failed, and in that moment of technological blindness, they never saw the real threat. The target had been locked for hours. The National Assembly building in central Caracas. According to leaked intelligence, this wasn't just a symbol of Venezuelan power. It was the operational hub coordinating drug trafficking and weapons smuggling into the United States. At 7:45 in the morning, without warning, the B-52s released their payload, 5 GBU-31 JDAM bunker buster bombs, each weighing 2,000 pounds, programmed to strike within a 10-foot margin of error. In just 3.4 seconds, they rained down on the assembly grounds. The first bomb flattened the center wing. The second and third destroyed reinforced rooms used by senior officials. The final two detonated with such force that local earthquake detectors registered a 3.1 magnitude earthquake. Glass walls vaporized. The power grid failed for 6 blocks. Surveillance footage captured a 120-foot fireball that pierced through the roof and hurled twisted steel into the sky. Inside, chaos reigned. Dozens were injured by collapsing ceilings and flying debris. 12 political staffers were hospitalized, including 2 senior advisors to President Maduro. Miraculously, Maduro himself wasn't present, but the building and its message were destroyed. Emergency sirens wailed across Caracas. Civilians fled in terror. Venezuelan jets scrambled, but it was too late. The B-52s and their escorts were already gone, vanishing like ghosts. The entire operation, from electronic jamming to final impact, lasted less than 7 minutes. Not a single American aircraft was touched. This wasn't just an attack. This was a demonstration of reach, precision, and overwhelming technological superiority. The message was crystal clear. American blood has consequences, and American patience has limits. 12:30 in the afternoon, Puerto Cabello Naval Command. Hours after the bombing, Venezuela was paralyzed. The National Assembly lay in ruins. Smoke billowed from shattered windows. Live broadcasts were cut mid-sentence. But beyond the physical destruction, the psychological damage ran deeper. Inside Venezuela's military command, chaos gave way to terrified silence.